Welcome to the Asphalt Advocates. This is a special episode with myself, Dave Thomas, and Ari Levenbaum, founder and CEO of Law Tigers. We are actually introducing the show for the very first time. And Ari, you want to jump in and kind of explain to the audience the reason why we came up with Asphalt Advocates? And
you say asshole advocates, or is that asphalt advocates?
well, you know, I talk a little. I got some ebonics
what's in there? Is there a little vodka in there, Dave?
I got some ebonics in my sling, man.
That's all good. That's all good. I was just messing around. You said it perfectly. Yeah. So we've been together now. What, 7 years?
Yes.
7 years. It's been quite the journey.
And by the way, we make it past this year, then we're stuck together.
That's
you guys
right.
know the 7-year itch thing.
It applies to marriage and to business relationships, right?
That's right.
So for years, we've talked about doing something kind of unique and special, and we see other people that have been doing podcasts, and nothing, not to knock them, but in many cases, it was more like rote business, which is fine. It wasn't, really raw and down to brass tacks, right?
Or over a Zoom or something like that. A little less interpersonal, right?
Right. And so I it's like we've talked about it. Like, man, we should do something like that. We got this building, our new Law Tigers headquarters. Yeah. Bear in mind, it's not a Law Tiger podcast. Law Tiger sponsors it, right? But
that's right.
This is not. This is really just about bringing on unique guests in the legal community. But anyway. Got this new building, have this great space, as you can see around us, and we figured, why not turn it into a podcast studio? So it took a little time to get things going here at the office and get it set up, but really this is designed for just you and I to bring in really special, noteworthy guests in the legal community and shoot the shit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're going to bring in attorneys from all over the country. It is kind of more so an attorney platform. Asphalt Advocate speaks for itself, right? Obviously, at Law Tigers, we do focus on the motorcycle community, but we wanted to kind of open this up, right, Ari, to anyone that's on the pavement, rubber to the pavement, that we're supporting and advocating for, attorneys, obviously, personal injury attorneys, that is, and give them a platform to, talk their talk,
Where the rubber meets the road, right?
I love that. Rubber meets the road, man, and, whether it's, for marketing, from, how they're handling the cases and just or even a little bit more about, who they are as individuals. Because I think that's probably the main focus is being very authentic in what we do and really uncovering like the raw and uncut stuff that most people aren't willing to share.
100%. This is not designed to bring people on to promote their business. This is not designed to promote Law Tigers. It's not designed to promote the law firm or the company that they represent. This is really designed to get to know them on a more personal level, which many of these people, you and I, especially you, know way, way more personally than other podcasts would really pull out, right? So
100%.
Yeah, we'll talk some business, fine, but more often than not, we're going to be talking about what makes them tick.
Yeah.
What they do for fun, what are their hobbies, what pisses them off, what do they like. We're going to ask them some tough questions. I don't want to sugarcoat this, right? We're gonna throw some stuff out at them that they may not be comfortable with, but that's, I think, what makes it real, right? And authentic is, having a conversation where maybe nobody's listening, even though people will be listening, but the thought is no one's listening. We have this real comfortable setting. We'll be serving drinks, doing some fun questions, right? It's going to be very unique and different.
Yeah. So we have different sections, such as quick throttle, speed questions where it's either this or that. We put them on the spot. And then we also have plead the fifth, right? These are just like personal questions where, we're pushing them, man. And the result of that, if they do plead the fifth, they'll have to take a shot.
That's right.
By the way, we should probably tell the audience that we are bringing in tequilas from around the world for each episode. And then our special guests will not only, have the opportunity to, take some shots together here in the beautiful desert of Scottsdale, Arizona, but they'll also take that bottle back home to their home office and as a gift from us to them. So, and
it's not cheap fucking tequila either.
No.
It's like, you can see, I don't know if you can see behind me here, but I was just in Cabo and I picked up some really good high quality tequila. So none of this. We're not serving Jose Cuervo, or we're not serving the cheap shit.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
actually
yeah.
serving premium,
Yeah, no
high
Patron,
end,
man.
sip, no Patron. This is stuff you sip, and not, you don't cut it with cheap fillers or cheap
That's
mixes.
right.
So,
And
yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, man. This guy's a collector of wine and bourbons, man. If the tequila's not your choice, I'm sure we can find something else for us to take part in. But
Well, we make an exception. It depends on the guest if we make an exception or not.
That's
You know,
right.
Yeah, it depends on the guest.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
hey,
anyway.
man. Let's talk about I know we kind of covered the purpose of the podcast.
Yeah.
But let's dive into kind of what we're looking to capture when we bring on guests and what we want our audience, because obviously for people to tune into this podcast, man, it has to be a value, right?
Right.
They want to take something away that's going to kind of where they can bring back to their firm or
Sure.
stimulate their minds on how to approach things differently.
Yeah.
And to put them in position to be more effective and to grow their firms.
Yeah, I don't want people to think we're not going to have like takeaways and some educational components.
Yeah.
Because I think when we're asking people to give up their time, look, we're competing for time and attention, right? That's what Gary Vee says all the time.
Yeah.
So whether people are in their cars, at their homes, in their offices, we want to make sure that we give them something that is valuable, right?
That's right.
So we will have people on that, some of the top legal minds in the community.
That's right.
Some of the top legal marketing individuals, also people that just are doing something unique or different or cutting edge in the legal space.
And just kick-ass attorneys.
Nice guys
Right.
that people want to learn more about. But
That's right.
But I think to humanize them and to make it a little more interesting and less business focused, the personal components are what you and I are going to really focus on, and we discussed. And I think that's what's going to make us unique and hopefully compelling to lawyers and non-lawyers alike that just want an insider's look at this individual and get to know them a little more on a personal level.
Yeah, man, I agree. I mean, when we can talk about legal marketing to, forever, man. And even, as attorneys, they could talk about their strategies and how they go about winning cases and growing their firms. But, it really comes down to executing.
Yeah.
And part of your execution or executing in that space is the person.
Right.
That's why people travel the country. They go to these conferences and they sit in the audience and they listen to speaker after speaker.
Right.
But they go back to their home office and some shit doesn't change.
Right.
Because it's not really what you've taken away, the nuggets. It's actually changing internally first.
It's how you apply what you did,
what
right?
you learned.
What you learned,
but
right.
also
right.
what your willingness to be more vulnerable and willing to really uncover the true you, man.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Uncovering the
yeah.
true
And
you,
it's
man.
difficult. Sometimes change is difficult, or you want to make change, but the people that work with you are resistant to it, or you're not giving them good reason why making changes and improvements are important. So you got to be a good leader.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to change. You got to be also willing to show people why these improvements or changes are in their best interest and the company's best interest, right?
That's right,
So-
man. And something comes to mind. I don't want to stay on this too long, man, but I get an opportunity to travel the country, so do you, and I'm forward facing to a lot of attorneys, and we talk about marketing. Of course, this is what we do at Law Tigers, right? We focus on motorcycle cases, but I often get this. They say, "Hey, Dave, man, we've tried this. We've tried digital. We've tried traditional. We've tried grassroots, and just none of it has really worked for us." And normally my response to them is like, it sounds like there's a disconnect. And maybe the disconnect isn't what you're doing from a marketing perspective, but what you're doing to connect with your audience.
Sure.
So that's the type of stuff that we're going to really dig into some of these top, like you said, legal minds.
Yeah.
And really understand, how do they go about what are their best practices?
Yes.
And who they are as individuals, because that's what really makes the connection.
Yes.
It's proper planning, preparation to go out there and execute, but you also have to have these what I call emotional intelligent qualities.
Yep.
To bring everything together.
Absolutely right. And I think the other thing that we're going to be addressing here is, there's a couple components to this whole legal cycle, if you will. It's how do you, first of all, attract the kind of cases you want, right? How do you
Yes.
get your name out there? How do you get people to want to call you or reach out to you if they need your service? And then equally as important is what do you do once you have that client in terms of managing the client, in terms of adding value, justifying whatever you're charging them, taking care of that client experience, client care, so that the outcome that they deserve and that you want for them is realized. So we're going to be dealing with that too. And this is not just, again, about motor. I mean, obviously our background is motorcycle, personal injury, and attracting motorcycle cases to our members, or driving motorcycle cases to our members. But we're going to be dealing with, much more general topics, like how do you just get cases that you want within the niche or the category that you're focused on. It could be trucking, auto, motorcycle, could be, it could even be aviation or boating or whatever the thing may be, right? Immigration. In fact, I met a really good immigration firm at an event, and they're like, they've exploded because they apply business principles and customer focused approaches to getting cases and taking care of clients. And then, of course, we're going to talk about some philanthropy, giving back to community, because that's important, being authentic, community outreach, which I know we really focus on. So this is going to be really a very broad and general format. And also we'll talk.
Let's just be up honest with, up front and honest with the audience. Man, we are sitting across from each other. Ari Levenbaum, Dave Thomas here. We want to share with you some of the secret sauce that we feel that is going to leapfrog your firm in a meaningful manner. And what I mean by that is, if you ask me the question, Ari, what do I feel that the legal marketing space is suffering from or need the most to improve? And man, and I would answer that it's just by really, uncovering yourself and being not just authentic, we overuse that word, but being vulnerable.
Sure.
Right? I mean, the watered down, kind of being perfect stuff is not working anymore.
No.
First of all, there's just too much damn competition out there.
Yep.
And now we're getting very creative with our digital marketing, right? With AI.
Yeah.
So what's gonna win the race, man? It's you, right?
Right.
It's going to be how you're able to separate. It's called brand separation. Separate your brand from your competition.
Yep.
And the way that we work at Law Tigers, man, everything we do is so meaningful, impactful to the community. We understand that if you keep people first, they'll keep you first.
You're right. And the approach that I've always taken, and I really try to instill this in our team members, whether they're the marketing folks or the operations folks, is put your clients first. The money will follow.
Yes.
Don't make money the driver.
Yes.
And material.
There's a great football analogy for that too, Ari.
What's that?
It's called move the chains, move the chains, move the chains.
That's right.
And what that means is, man, look, we're just looking to get first downs here. We're not looking for the big home run.
Right.
See, for many years, historically, the legal marketing community or even just attorneys, they've really lived in the world of being transactional.
Yes.
To the point where that's just how they operate in all aspects of their life, including running their firms.
Right.
But you want to talk about how we've made the shift many years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the successful firms making that shift today.
Right.
Transitioning from a transactional mindset to more of a relational mindset.
100%.
Right.
And not putting money and greed first or appealing to people's baser instincts.
Yes.
About, getting the big check or, we're gonna get all this stuff for you. Really, it should be about putting the client first, making them whole, giving them the service and value they need. And again, if you do that, they'll refer more clients and customers to you, their friends and family. That's the reputation you want to have. That's what you want to convey in all your marketing is client first. The client is the hero, not you as the lawyer.
Love that.
So
yeah, making the client the hero of your story. You're exactly right, man.
And that's building a story brand. We read the book. I highly recommend it. That's
book.
important. Yeah, that's important. So that's what you're going to see. And again, I'm not trying to disparage other podcasts, although a bunch of them are pretty fucking boring.
They're all the same.
And
like, hey, sign up, man. We have a script.
Right.
And then to doodle. I have somebody to put this together and then push it out.
And you and I have been on a bunch of them, and it's like, okay, send us your bio, tell us what you're doing, how do you help, what do you do for lawyers, or how do you get business? And again, it's just it's the same boring formula.
Because they have companies, third-party companies that's helping them with this, and they're all kind of cookie cutter.
Right, and ours is in-house. I mean, we've got James over here. What's up, James?
Big James
and
in the house.
He's one of our our video production guys. He's here doing the editing, production. This is not something that we farmed out. This is something you and I, we scheduled.
We're actually flying people in.
Right, we're flying people in.
Face to face, man. You can't do this online.
You're absolutely right. You and I meet, and we meet to come up with the questions and the format. It's going to be,
tailored, right?
Tailored. It's like kind of like a variety show, kind of like Tonight Show meets.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so I think people will hopefully be entertained, informed, educated, and feel like they're getting something new and different that they're not used to seeing within the legal space.
And then you get the old like Rob and Big kind of tandem here. You know what I mean?
By the way, what you wearing for kicks today?
Man, I got the Bass Pro Shop,
nice.
Low dunks on, man.
I like those.
Thanks,
like those.
man.
I just got me some Wu-Tang dunk highs I'm wearing.
Oh, those are slick, man. Wu-Tang Clan. Are you a rap fan, man?
I love me some rap. Yeah,
that's
I grew
cool.
up. I grew up in the '90s, so hip hop.
Yeah, that's true,
even though I'm like kind of a city boy,
what would you say
Jewish white kid liking rap, you know?
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
Well, so who would be your top two rap groups of all time?
I'd say at the top is probably Snoop. I'm a big Snoop fan.
Oh man, Snoop is cool, man.
I mean,
Did you see this guy he's on The Voice now? And he is so, I mean, that's just letting you know, judging books by your cover.
Oh,
because even me, man, as a brother, man, him coming out of Compton, I'm like, man, I mean, he's hard, man, hardcore.
Yeah.
But the dude, man, he's on The Voice crying and just so comforting and compassionate.
Yeah.
Man, so it just goes to show you, man, people are people, universal. But, man, sorry to
interrupt. He took over the Olympics, too. The highest ratings.
He did a great job with the Olympics.
Ratings when he was on. So it shows you how mainstream someone like him is.
And then obviously him and Martha Stewart had a little thing.
I know. It's what a combo. But, for me, it's like I went and saw when Dre did the Up in Smoke tour, I think it was. No. What was the tour with Dre?
I forget.
In the 90s. And it was like Exhibit. It was Snoop. It was Dre. It was Ice Cube. So anyway, Ice Cube's another one. I'm more of like, I really like the West Coast. Don't get me wrong. I'm a
West Side.
Yeah, West Side Connect. Remember that?
Yeah.
But so those guys. But I'm a huge Jay-Z fan as well. So and I just saw something this morning. Hopefully it's nothing too serious with the implications they're talking about now.
Man,
him and Diddy. Hopefully that's just hearsay and someone's. It's not. Who knows? You got to give the guy, the benefit of the doubt. But
yeah, man.
Regardless, I love his rap.
Some parties are overrated, man. Sometimes it's just better.
Say no.
Say no, man.
That's right.
All right, man. But that's cool, man. So yeah, it's and just the way we're discussing that, man. We're gonna really dive deep into our guests and really understand what kind of ticks their clock, so to speak. Right?
Yeah. I think it's also going to be cool. Like we brought up shoes and lifestyle, and I really want this to have a lifestyle component to it. You and I agree. So, we can talk about some vacations or trips that they went on, they recommend, their hobbies.
Yeah.
Look, just because you're a high-powered trialer doesn't mean you have other interests, right?
Sure.
Our friend who we'll probably end up having on here shortly, Bob, he's a bourbon guy, right? So so maybe we'll have him on down the road, and it'd be great to see some.
We love Big Bob. Bob Simon, man, he's a great dude.
Great guy, but I mean, he has his own podcast, and so
Bourbon Proof.
Bourbon of Proof. You're right, Bourbon of Proof. So, but we want people to see the other side of these individuals because these are complex individuals, and no one is, these are multifaceted folks. So let's learn more about them. Right. On a personal level, right?
Yeah, man, and it's not just all good either, Ari. So, right?
Sure.
We understand the growth happens, man. That the growth is really in failures and doing shit wrong.
Right.
So we also want to talk about that. We want to talk about their greatest failures and their greatest success. We want to talk about some things that they wish that they could have done differently and how they would have done it differently.
I agree. I've made many mistakes myself. I'm sure you have also, but those mistakes allow you to learn and grow and improve, and nobody's perfect. I don't care, even the likes of Mark Lanier, who hopefully we'll get him on. Yeah, I know you've got a little
Mark,
bromance with him, so we'll get him on.
We need you, Mark. We need you,
baby.
Right,
that's right. But even someone like him that has had multi-billion-dollar verdicts and settlements, I'm sure he's had things he wish he would have done differently or that he did that he's learned from. So, yeah, we really want to get a full perspective from people and give them the opportunity to feel comfortable and feel like they're not going to be judged, right? And that they can open up to us in a way that they've never done on a podcast. Maybe they've done it with their family, friends. So if we get a little bit of pushback, from some guests. We'll it is what it
Pushback
is.
is great, man.
Yeah.
Once again, that means we're doing what we're set out to accomplish,
Correct.
right, man?
Correct. Right.
So back to kind of the heart of the program, man. So if I can kind of put it on in a nutshell, man. So it's raw and uncut.
Yep.
It's being vulnerable, authentic. It's adding value to personal injury law firms around the country, discussing some of the latest marketing strategies that's hitting well right now.
Yep.
There's been a big shift in legal marketing, man.
Right.
I've been doing this for 7 years. You've been doing it a lot longer.
Sure.
But from my perspective, man, I remember when the getting was getting good, man. When I first came into this thing, it was just I hate my impression, but balls to the wall.
Right.
Now it's really being more intentional and quality over quantity.
Yes.
Right. And let's just face it, a lot of legal firms, they've been burned by marketers.
Right.
So they're very careful who they do business with.
100%.
And so it's like only the best of the best really is really thriving right now.
Yeah,
and I think that's the way it should be, man.
Sure, you got to provide value to your customers, and getting them is one thing, but then providing what you promised, delivering or even over delivering, retention. You could be bringing people in, but if you're not keeping them and making them happy and doing what you set out to do, then it's just a revolving door, right? Whether it's your employees, whether it's your customers, you have to provide the value and the service. The other thing is, I'd like to also get into like what's going on like politically. Like, there's a big push with insurance companies and legislatures to put caps on claims and torts.
Yes.
And that affects the consumer. So we're going to talk about, it's not just about marketing is important, right?
Yep.
But we also going to talk about the business at whole. Like another example, like it's more about motorcycle related. I talked to the president of the Motorcycle Riders Foundation last week, and they're trying to get rid of combustion engine motorcycles, right?
Wow.
So, and a lot of people, that's what they ride. That's what they can afford. Mandating that they buy electric bikes. I mean, that could have an effect also on a bunch of things: the insurance industry, the legal industry. So legislatures that have insurance companies that are behind funding these politicians, getting them to do things like they did in Florida,
right,
where it limits the statute of limitations, liability changes with insurance. These all affect attorneys too, which is driving attorneys to do things differently or move out of state or diversify into other states. So we're going to talk politics also, because that does have and culture, that has an impact on your legal practice.
Yeah.
So we need to address everything, not just a small part of the legal landscape, if you will.
No, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. And we'll also cover conferences, man.
Yes.
The world of conferences, it seems like just conferences are popping up everywhere, man.
Yeah. Dream conferences, by the way? Do you have nightmares about conferences?
Man, I was my 2024, man, I was basically living out of my suitcase. And I know many of our audience members that are actually listening right now. You were right there with us. And man, so we would love to, kind of help you guys out. And our opinions, I guess they matter, but we've pretty much experts in the conference world, man. We've been on this tour for how long? You've been on a tour for what? 20 years?
I've been doing conferences of varying degrees for probably. I think your thing is going there.
Well, nobody heard that but you, man.
That's all right.
You can't be ratting me out,
we're being
man.
Ron Real, so better or worse. If you got to straighten your shirt or scratch your nose or pick some boogers, we're being Ron Real. So yeah, I've been doing it over 20 years, and I've seen the conference industry explode, especially in the legal space. I think in some cases it's been good. I think just being honest, I think in some cases it's some of them I don't think are necessarily beneficial.
Let's talk. Man, let's just shoot. Let's just shoot straight. And I love what you're sharing. But you just brought up a great point, man. Let's talk about pay to play, man. How do you? Because I remember when you brought me on 7 years ago. Yeah, the game was really just pay to play. Right. But now it's kind of
define pay to play for those that don't know.
Yeah, man. So pay to play is when a legal vendor or marketing firm or even the law firm will sponsor or pay for a speaking spot or opportunity.
And usually it's a pretty big contribution,
it's
like 10, 20,
a handsome
30,000.
investment.
Right.
But it was very, like, non-authentic, right? Because they give you 20, 30 minutes, maybe 40 if you're lucky, to go up there and kind of talk really, a little bit about your company, but educate. But it's almost like oh man, I hate to use this, but hey, this is raw and uncut. It's almost like going through an escort agency,
Right. Paying for sex.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It's kind of slimy.
Sleazy. Yeah.
I really feel the most meaningful and authentic conversations come from experts who's just good at the shit and have nuggets to share.
100%.
And will do it willingly and do it without making money,
100%.
And so I think some of the better firms or conferences, they're finding other ways to, because let's just face it, it's not cheap putting on a conference.
No,
we have our own conference, right?
Yeah, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So, conference folks, we're not shitting on you saying that you can't make money,
right?
Because you have to pay to put on these events. But what I'm going with this, a lot of conferences, they're being smart about it. They're finding other ways to support their their conference budgets.
Yes.
Whether it's through sponsoring Wi-Fi's and different things of that nature. But paying the play is, I think, really it's fallen to the wayside. Now there's some standing conferences that's been in for a very long time.
Right.
They're still operating that way. But the new ones that are hitting the market, man, they're just bringing in the people that the audience are wanting to see,
or that have something of value to provide. And I don't want to disparage conferences that provide something beyond just these ancillary packages. Like, look, we have our own
the Motorcycle Accident Summit team
shameless plug. So we have our own conference, Motorcycle Accident Summit. But I only allow two of the top 2-tier sponsors get 15 minutes, and it has to be educational. We vet it, make sure that it's something that's giving value to the attendees that they can use. And then I've got, I think, 5 or 6 panel slots.
6, yeah.
5 or 6 panel slots, and we've got 40 panel slots of over 6 panels. So we pepper them in, but that's it, and that's because we do not. I mean, most people that are speaking,
bringing experts, right? Talk about the folks that we bring in.
Yeah, we're bringing in like human factors expert, biomechanical engineer, road design, accident reconstruction, brain specialists. So those, just to name a few. And those people, I don't pay them to come. They don't pay me to speak. They pay their own hotel. They pay their airfare. Now we give them the conference. We waive their conference fee because they're not there.
We give them the VIP treatment,
right? But they're not there as lawyers. So we don't charge them a conference fee.
They're there as experts.
They're experts.
To make people better.
And I'm on the phone with them, talking to them about the area of expertise, what we're looking for. On the other end, we have the top trial lawyers within the motorcycle space. Same thing. I don't pay them. They don't pay me. They get their conference fee waived, of course, because they're coming in. They pay their own airfare and
that's
hotel.
the way it really should be.
That's how it should be. I agree.
And so, I mean, we had our very first conference, 2024. It was March 5th through the 7th in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
And I'm not just, speaking, because it was our conference in partnership with National Trial Lawyers.
Of course.
But the response I've gotten from most everyone that it was a kick-ass conference. It was our very first. And guess what? We're doing this shit again, and we're doing it bigger and better.
Right in
and
Orlando.
It's going to be in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Conrad Hotel.
Yeah.
Phenomenal resort. You want to talk about the location and why people may be interested in attending?
So again, if you want to learn about how to get motorcycle cases, how to track the best motorcycle cases, high value cases, yes, or you want to learn how to add value to the service, meaning getting, again, the right experts, the right trial prep, right techniques in order to either get the verdict or the settlement you're looking for and to provide your client with the best representation possible. This is the time of conference that you want to come to. It's very reasonable. We basically charge enough to cover our food and conference fees. This is not a money maker for us.
Yeah, we're not looking to make money.
No.
Man. We're just looking to create an incredible experience.
Yep.
For personal injury firms,
Yes.
top litigators,
Yep.
to capitalize on an underserved community, which is motorcycle riders.
Yep.
We are the experts. We're the largest motorcycle brand in the nation. Been doing it for 24 plus years.
Yeah.
Right now, we occupy, I want to say, 30 states, 35 markets.
Yep.
And we're partnering with some incredible firms. When I say incredible firms, I mean, visit our website, lawtigers.com. Sorry, man.
He's going onto the plug.
It's hard for me,
going down
man.
the rabbit hole.
I know it's hard for me, man.
That's what you're paid to do. I
get so excited about this shit because we do it well, man.
We do.
You know,
we do.
And I'm just passionate about.
I know
this
you
shit.
are, and I am
Forgive
too.
me.
But I want it's fine. But I want people tuning in to realize this is not a Law Tigers podcast.
Yeah.
This is not something that is designed to promote Law Tiger business. This is really to give everybody the opportunity to learn about the different avenues of the legal community and
thanks
legal
for
industry.
sharing that, Ari. It's funny because, people ask, how do you grow our business, man? And we do some marketing, right? For sure, right?
Sure.
And on the B2C side, I think we're one of the best in the game. But ironically, majority of our new partners, they come to us by way of referral.
Or relationship.
Or relationships
Absolutely.
in place.
Yeah.
So we don't ever have to really, do a bunch of elevator pitches and all that stuff. And as we like to say that everything about what we do is relational.
Yep.
It actually transfers over to our clients as well because they operate that way as well. They're just really great operators, good people, well established, very well liked in their communities.
Right.
And it's our job to find those connections. Hey, man.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
So I know we were talking about conferences. We touched on ours. Obviously, if you want to check it out, you can go to Motorcycles and Summit. That's fine.
The Motorcycle Accident Summit.
Yeah. So that's fine. But there are a number of other conferences that I think are worthy of checking out. Now, again, I'm not going to go over every one of them, but
name a few.
We
go
like
ahead. Throw some out. I'll throw some out as
National
well.
Trial Lawyers. We like doing that every year, and that's one of the few we sponsor.
This is a great one.
Great one. Good speakers.
Lanier
great
Trial Academy.
Lanier Trial. Best, probably one of the best trial lawyers of all time, right?
He's a super stud.
Yeah, I know. If you're still looking for mass tort cases, Mass Tort Made Perfect, we attend that. There's two of those a year.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our good friend Dan puts on a really good trial event.
TLU University.
TLU, and he has the same mindset.
Trial lawyers.
It's very focused on education, very focused on training
I think he
lawyers.
does a couple a year.
California and
Bob
Vegas.
Simon, Lottie Gras.
Lottie Gras, that's a good one. So, I mean, there's another one that...
PimCon. They threw their very first conference.
You spoke at that, actually. You did a good job.
It was a badass conference, dude. That was one of my favorites of 2024, actually.
Yep. I know that our partners in National Trial Lawyers have taken over the brain. What's the brain one in San Diego?
TBI.
TBI Med Legal. So that's very focused on traumatic brain injury, which is
Business
big
of law.
Business of law. Yeah, if you want to learn how to get more case. So these are the ones that we...
And they also have the trucking, a big truck auto.
Big trucking auto.
That was a good one, too.
That's good. There's also... and where we kind of modeled the motorcycle summit based on was the trucking. What's the one that has been going on for a while?
Joe Freed and them over there?
Joe Freed, that's a great conference. What's that called? Trucking.
I forget, but it's a trucking
focused. Yeah, that's a great conference. So there's a lot of good conferences out there. Obviously, you can't go to all of them. My suggestion would be is to talk to other attorneys that have been to the conferences. Figure out where you want to learn or network, because there's networking opportunities too, and where you want to really try to improve.
What's your other guy, man, that we like, man? He does a really great job, man. Ken, man. We can't leave out Ken Hardison.
Pilma. Yeah, he's one of the OGs. He's one of the OGs.
Original gangster.
And he actually supports our event as well. I don't know if he's this year, but last year. I
think he'll be back, and we're going to support Pilma as well, man. But they do a wonderful job as well,
100%. So there's so many conferences out there. Obviously, you can't go to all of them. But my suggestion is do your research, go online, talk to people that have done them. If you want to talk to myself or Dave and have questions about any of the conferences, you can reach out to us through LinkedIn if you want. Happy to be a resource for you guys to give you a heads up. But again, I just want to make sure these conferences have to provide value. You can't rehash the same shit all the time. You can't do it just to make money. You really need to do this because you're trying to educate lawyers and and provide value. And I'm telling everybody that's into conferences,
iron sharpen iron, man. We want to make each other better, man.
If you don't do that, it's going to full circle come back, and it will affect I think the impression people have on conferences,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, man.
And so-
Long-term relationships,
Yeah.
man. Hey, so let's pivot here, man. I got a surprise for you, man.
What's that?
I'm gonna pitch you on the spot, man. So
I'm
as
not
we
easy to
talked,
put on the
we're gonna
spot.
have some ups and downs, peaks
Yeah,
and
yeah,
valleys, man,
yeah.
in our show.
Sure.
One of them is quick throttle questions, man.
Wait,
Let me
we have
pitch you-
another, but we have another. What's the term for that?
I forget the name of it, man.
It's there's a legal term we came up with. We have plead the fifth, and then
Yeah.
what was the term we came up with for that?
I forget.
Well,
man.
when we have our first guest, we'll incorporate that name
Oh,
because I
100%.
know I wish I knew the name, but anyway. So what are you throwing at me?
All right, speed round questions, man.
All right, bring it on, D.
You only can go, A or B, right?
All
This
right.
or that. All right.
And you haven't, and I've not seen these questions.
No,
so
no.
I have no idea what he's going to ask me.
All right, here we go. Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan,
Harley or Indian?
Harley,
Brains or whiskey?
brains. That's a weird one.
Yeah. That was a trick one.
Yeah.
Classic rock or country?
Classic rock. Actually, it's hip hop, but I'll go with the classic rock.
All right.
Yeah.
Route 66 or Pacific Coast Highway?
Pacific Coast Highway.
Rich or famous?
Rich.
Blonde or brunette?
Brunette. My wife would kill me if I said blonde. Brunette.
Boobs or butts?
But
Loyalty or respect?
loyalty.
Fast lane or scenic route?
What was that?
Fast lane or scenic route? So,
Oh,
when you,
scenic route.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
oh,
ride,
oh, fast
man,
lane, fast lane,
You're,
yeah,
you're
fast-
fast
yeah,
guy.
fast
okay.
lane, yeah.
You like speed? Tell me about that, man. Because I know some things that the audience don't know about you. I know that
Yeah.
you love speed, man.
Yeah.
You got some fruit tours and you do some racing of your own, man. Talk to me
Yeah,
about
so
that, man.
I'm really a big fan. I'm not into football. No offense, Big D. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not into football. I like watching a little basketball, especially live. But
Especially
you're-
when he's on his courtside seats.
Oh yeah,
But go
that
ahead,
doesn't
man.
happen that often. Anyway, and they're free when I get them. I don't pay for them. So I'm really not into most of your traditional, team sports, right?
Yeah.
I played a little bit for fun as a kid, but nothing competitive. So anyway, but I've always been into motorsports. When I was a little kid, I had a three-wheeler ATC,
Yeah.
Honda, and worked my way up to bigger three-wheelers, then eventually the two-wheelers on dirt and then street. So really, my passion and hobby is riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
I collect some old ones that you have in the office here, and I ride them. And I do have some friends I ride with in a group called the Hamsters.
Yeah.
Harlan's in the group. For those
Harlan
of you,
Signature, yeah.
he's one of my fellow Hamsters. He's been at way longer than me. I'm new to the group. I'm very humbled and proud to be part of it. But anyway, so we like to ride a little bit fast. We go to Sturgis. We go to Daytona. We ride to Rocky Point, Mexico. So for me, riding is my passion. It also is my therapy. I feel great when I do it, and I really enjoy riding. I also recently got into doing some stuff at a racetrack with cars. I'm by no means an expert, but it's exhilarating. It's challenging. You can improve on your speed, and to me, it's always about getting better and figuring out ways to improve. So cars and motorcycles, that's my jam.
I love it, man.
Yeah, that's my jam.
speed, man. So definitely buckle up tight with Ari, man, when you're riding with him.
That's right.
He's
It's funny to mention that. I had a buddy of mine, Jason Sims, and he was in the passenger seat of my car, and I gunned it. And the car's pretty quick, and he like almost started crying. He's like, "Oh my God, slow down, man, slow down," because you don't realize when you're driving it just how much the car really takes off when you're driving versus a passenger. You're not holding the steering wheel, right? So that sensation's a lot more intense. But my wife, man, she'll ride with me in the car. She doesn't get on the back of motorcycles, but she's a trooper. She never gets scared or anything. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, man. For me, man, I can jump on a bike from time to time. You and I shot that commercial. I know I shocked you, but you
can hold your own.
Yeah, man.
I can see on one of those Harleys with the big tall ape hangers. A bunch of chrome. You got your music.
But I'm
never
a big
too late.
sports enthusiast, man. You know
All
me.
right. You can do both.
Yeah, I'm coaching the kids and doing all that good stuff, man.
You could be
But,
riding up to coach kids on a Harley. They think you're the coolest guy ever.
I thought about it, man. My little Puerto Rican wife, man. I tell you, I bring that bike up and
Just tell her I require it as part of your employment.
exactly right. Yeah, this is part of my job description, babe. I got to ride every once in a while.
It changed. Ari's requiring me to ride a Harley.
But to your audience, man, I'm not just a city slicker. I can jump on two wheels and handle it, man.
You actually were on that little mini bike, and you did pretty good on that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
man.
You did pretty good.
It's just being an athlete, man, jumping on anything, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, so we're wrapping up things. I think this has been a great time to kind of, talk about Asphalt Advocates and the nature of the show and really the heart of it. For closing remarks, man, what would you like to share with the audience, man?
Well, look, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be releasing these for now, probably once a month. We may start doing it more often, but we're going to get, you and I have access to the top legal minds, the top industry experts because of all the conferences we go to, because of the fact that we've been in the legal industry for so many years. So you're going to get, the opportunity to meet people that maybe haven't been on a podcast, or if they have,
that's right,
haven't been asked the difficult questions. So if you're looking for something that's real, authentic, fun, and we'll take you all on the ride with us. So you won't be in this room, but you'll be as close as possible to feeling like you are.
That's right.
Check us out, and you can check us out on we'll have a YouTube channel. We'll also be posting to other platforms as well. So, and if you see Dave or I, just come up and say hi and shoot the shit with us. We want to get to know more people in the industry. And if you're not, if you are a lawyer and you see us at a conference, or you just want to send us an email or hit us up on LinkedIn, please let us know. We want to get to know more people, and we want to just spread the love, spread the gospel about all things legal.
Look at this, man. Look at this Jewish kid talking about spread the gospel. I love it.
That's right.
I love it, man. But hey, this has been a great time with you, Ari, man. And like I said, this podcast is, we thought very, long, and we took our time on to bring as much quality and value as possible. And man, I'm just looking forward to take this ride with you, another ride, man. Been doing this 7 years at Law Tigers, but this platform is going to be for you guys out there, and we're going to make sure that we treat it with so much passion and respect of your time. So tune in. It's going to be something that you've never really witnessed in the legal space, and man, we're going to have a fun time with this. So anything else before we? Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to talk about. Did we talk about that? Yeah, we did, man.
We covered everything.
Yeah, we covered everything.
We got everything, including the kitchen sink. I think I feel good about this, and we'll be having a lot of cool guests on, and it'll probably we're going long format. So as long as there's something to talk about with the guest, it could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half, could be 2 hours, whatever we feel.
Probably not 2 hours. I know you guys are not going to tune.
Well, you can say as long as you want, but I mean, but look, Rogan sometimes goes through. I'm not saying we're Rogan. That's the goal. We want to be the legal Rogans, right?
Hey, man, let's do it.
But whatever it takes, we're not going to be limited on time, and it's going to be whatever comes up, and whatever we discuss is fair game. And I'm looking forward to the ride with you, man.
That's right, man. Yeah, the more vulnerable, the deeper the connection, man.
I like it.
So you're gonna get that here, man. So hey, thanks for tuning in to Ari's and Dave's first ever podcast, Asphalt Advocates, coming from Scottsdale, Arizona, the desert, baby. And you know what? We look forward to many episodes. Tune in, reach out to us. We love the engagement, and man, we're gonna have a blast. Thanks again for your time. All right, anything before we sign off?
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. All right. That's a wrap, folks.
Take care.
Take care.